The Wealthy Life is brought to you by investment dealer Raymond James. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
Retirement is bliss, right? But what do you do when your income is fixed and your expenses are rising? With me today is Barb, a retired government worker trying to figure out how to increase her cash flow. Welcome, Barb.
Hi, Sybil.
So good to have you on the show.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
So is retirement everything you thought it would be?
In some ways, yeah. I just find that at the end of the month, there's not a whole lot of money left to play with.
So is your pension not quite as high as you thought it was going to be?
No, it's really not that bad. I'm grateful to have it, but it would be, yeah, I could use some extra money per month. And so I sometimes wonder if I should look at selling my condo and renting.
So is that your big question for me today?
Yeah.
And a lot of retirees spent their whole life building up equity in a home, then are on a fixed income, and then someday we die. Hate talking about it, but it happens.
That's true. It's going to happen.
And then we've got all this money tied up in the equity in our home. So it may make sense, and in certain cases it does make sense to tap into the equity, but it doesn't for everyone. So we'll have a look at that. What are some of the things that you would like to do in retirement that you're not yet doing?
Well, I do. I like to travel. I like to go on trips. And so, I mean, I'm doing that, but I would like to do more of that. I like to shop. and so I have to be careful with the shopping because sometimes I'm using the old Visa to do that, you know? So those are the main things that I really like to do with my time.
So tell me about your home now.
It's what it looks like and how it is.
How big is it? Is it a house?
You know,
condo?
it's a condo, and it's a lovely condo. It's a little bit older, so it's a 2-bedroom, 2 full bath, and probably about 900 square feet.
Oh, so it's a good
size. Yeah, it is, and it's been redone, and so a lot of I like my home. That's where I get into the dilemma. Because I do like it. I like the way it looks, and I like the way I've set it up, and so when I think about if I sell and start to rent, what am I going to find out there? Is going to be like a little tiny shoebox, you know? Right. So it's all, yeah.
So that's the big dilemma.
Yeah.
And if you could stay, ideally, if you could stay in your own home and enjoy it and it's yours, it'd be great.
Yes.
But you're willing to look at some other options if it makes more sense from a financial perspective.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to help you with that. So don't go away. Should Barb stay or should she go? Find out after the break. And we're back with Barb to find out if she should sell her condo and rent instead, or can she stay? Barb, we're going to have to crunch the numbers to figure that one out. Have you heard of a reverse mortgage?
I have, and I've spoken to people about that, and some say it's really not that great an idea.
Well, first off, I think you're a little too young to be considering it.
Okay.
Does that make you feel good?
Oh, that's nice. Thanks.
And the reason is a reverse mortgage, it's nice because you can stay in your own home and you get to access the equity that you've built up. So how it works is they give you a monthly income or a lump sum, but generally it's a monthly income to subsidize your current income, and it will pay you that for a number of years. The downside is there's a cost to it.
Right.
So they charge you interest. You don't have to make regular payments back because that would defeat the whole purpose.
Right.
But the amount you owe just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
And what worries me about that option for you is because you're young, what if you use up all the equity in your home and all of a sudden you're still alive and now what?
Yeah.
And now you can't repay it.
I'm just out there with a grocery card. That's not good. So.
No. So we don't want that.
No, right. Yeah.
So I'm going to look at your specific situation and look at the renting versus continuing to own.
Okay.
What's your condo worth?
The last assessment, a little over $300,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you have to pay for strata fees every month?
$280 285, it changes. I think 280.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll split
yeah.
the difference,
Yeah.
283.
Sure.
And property taxes?
They're included in my mortgage payment, and
Okay.
they average about $100 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave the mortgage part out for right now, but that is something that we would factor in, because if you sell, part of your proceeds is going to have to pay off your mortgage.
Right.
So then you're not going to have as much left to invest.
Right.
But let's just pretend for a second that's not the case.
Okay.
Just looking right away at your monthly expenses of owning, we're at $383 a month for property taxes and strata fees. What would you have to pay to rent a comparable property? Do you know?
Well, I have looked, and I mean, I could rent something a lot smaller, a little box for a lot less. But the kinds of places that I want to rent are indeed fairly close to what I'm currently paying.
So what does that mean? What would you be paying a month then to rent? Just for rent,
in-
like $1,500?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So if you were to sell your condo at $300,000, and forget the mortgage for a minute, because I won't get into that in front of everybody else. But if you invested that $300,000 at 5%, that would generate $15,000 a year, or $1,250 a month, roughly. Plus, you'd be saving your property taxes and your strata fees.
Right.
So when we add those two together, that's about $1,633 a month.
Wow.
So really, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
You're very, very close in both situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
The nice thing about selling and then investing your money, if it can earn an average return of 5%, then you're fine, and you still have the equity. You still have the $300,000.
Right.
Is it important to you to leave an inheritance, or can we plan for you first?
Well, I would like to leave some inheritance. I have 5 grandchildren, so that I do
Wow.
think of that. But there's in the last few years, I'm starting to become the sort of selfish person. And thinking,
What about
myself.
me?
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
nothing wrong
yeah,
with that.
Yeah.
And you do have to take care of yourself.
Right.
So having the money does free up some of the burdens, because also, what if there's extra levies and things put on you being a homeowner? What about surprises, leaky
Yes.
condo, all
Yes.
those types of
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
Have you had that happen in the past?
We have, yeah. I've sort of been through that already.
And
so,
if
yeah.
that happened again,
then it would be deadly. Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe at that point would be forced into relooking at this situation.
Yes. Yes.
You know, Barb, it's so close either way that right now I'm going to suggest that you probably stay. Still continue to look around, and if something else catches your eye and gets you all excited, we'll crunch the numbers again.
Okay.
But in the meantime, enjoy your home, and let's look at some other ways to free up your cash flow. You could defer your property taxes as one option.
Okay.
That creates a liability later,
Right.
but it frees up some cash flow now.
Yes. Yeah.
And there might be some other things that you can do.
Okay.
So thanks for coming on the show to share your question with everyone today.
Oh, thank you, Sybil. I just really appreciate your expertise, because you certainly know all about this stuff, and I'm not that great with the number game. So
Well, I hope
yeah.
I've helped.
Yeah, you have.
Thanks,
You
Barb.
have.